Welcome back, guys, to the SashaT podcast, a Whatnot original. I have a good friend of mine from the Southern California area, just back from Taiwan, made a huge Taiwan trip recently. He has been collecting for a very, very long time, has helped me with a lot of deals that I've gone through over the last couple of months. I feel like we became like really good friends over the last couple of months.
Yeah, you're really good at selling a few of the cards that we've, I have mutual friends that you sold a few big cards, a few Curry, Topps Chrome PSA 10s and some other cards. So helped us out a lot.
Yeah. So he has been in the industry for what? How long have you been in the industry?
I started collecting probably really started collecting probably like 88, 89. I mean, the first pack of cards I opened was 86 Topps baseball at a kid's, at a 10-year-old birthday party. I was 10 at that time and just got hooked on it and just love opening cards and packs and started collecting pretty much hard during 89 when everyone else did, back when 89 Upper Deck with Griffey's and Hoops with David Robinson, stuff like that.
Yes, you're kind of like an OG.
Yeah. I mean, that's the good thing about, I think, what you have people in here. You have people that collected for 20 or 30 years, and you have new people that, are young, like your age, where they just started collecting. So it has like a good mix of different perspectives of the hobby.
And your Instagram and your eBay page, because you do have a consignment business, which we'll talk about more later.
Yeah.
That's LukaDoncicPC.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, I'm a huge Luka fan, obviously. So just started collecting a lot of his cards back in 18-19 is when I actually really started getting back in the hobby. Is probably like 16-17. So when Luka came out, he was the guy that I thought was going to be the next generational talent. So I bought a bunch of stuff of Luka and haven't looked back since.
What are there a couple items that like in your PC that you have, or a couple of items that you did have of Luka's that you kind of wish you kept?
Well, at one time, I think I've had 3 to 4 PSA 10 Luka NTs.
Wow.
But not all at one time, but I've held 3 different ones, and I think there's only like 6 of them.
That's what I was going to say. Those are pretty rare to get as PSA 10s as well. Usually you
pretty much have to buy them pretty early on.
Right? Yeah, before they blow up, right?
No, well, yeah. And no one really graded with PSA back then. There was all BGS. If you look at the pop report, it's like 40 BGS 9.5s, and there's like 5 or 6 PSA 10s. So
what's something like that worth like right now?
So the first one I got was pretty much right when the product came out, graded it. When I got a 10 on that, I sold it for $16,000.
So you felt happy,
yeah,
right?
Well, I paid $9,000 for the card. Spent back then, they didn't really upcharge you that much back then, so spent maybe $300, $600 grading it, and flipped it at $16,000. I was hoping it would get 20, but 16 was still a $5,000 profit. So,
and that's really, really good.
It sounds good back then, but now it sounds like you just cost yourself $500,000. So
that sucks, but it is what it is. You still have a lot of other Lukas too, right?
Yeah. So I mean, then I started buying Prism colors. I was trying to work on the rainbow at one point, but it was just impossible to get a hand on a gold one. Your buddy Kelvin would never trade me his. So
his Luka gold.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll ever.
Doesn't seem like it, because the funny story is I bought a Luka orange back then. It was a BGS 9.5, I think, for $3,800. And the same guy's like, "Oh, I just sold my gold to Coleman for like I think $12,000." And I'm like, "Damn, missed out on that." So he literally
you would have bought that, right?
Yeah, probably. I might have like negotiated a little bit, but yeah. But if I knew someone else was going after it, yeah, I probably would go after it.
Is it like? Can you explain to people how you go about your collecting aspect versus kind of your flip aspect? Because I feel like that's a big question that when people watch the pod, they're like, they're also trying to figure out who they are. Are they a collector? Are they like an investor? Yeah, can you talk about like your perspective? Like, what would you kind of view yourself as? And
I mean, I have no problem being labeled a collector / flipper, because I use my flipping for profit to work on the collection. So when I first started collecting back, so I collected, I collected pretty much through the late 80s all the way through probably around 1998, 99, then pretty much graduated from college, started working, so stopped collecting cards for a while. Then in 2016, 17, I started collecting again because I'm a mortgage broker, but that's my regular day job, and just happened to have one of my real estate agents that worked for me had a huge collection at home, and I just was thumbing through it, looking at it, and I was like, it got me into it again. So I just started collecting very, very like simple stuff, like everything I collected back in the 80s. So I would buy some 86 Fleers of Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon, bought PSA 9s of it, and just gradually worked on improving it to a PSA 10 or whatever. Pretty much the cards I collected when I was a kid. But in order to do that, I bought a lot of, back then, and this is, of course, no one cares about them now, was bought a lot of base. So I started buying base Ben Simmons PSA 10s and bought them for, let's say, $100, and it would get up to 200 and just flip it and sell it. And every time I made a profit, it would go into my PC and I would improve my PC.
And so what's kind of the stuff you PC?
Mainly 80s stuff. You'll see soon. I'm working on a new PC that I'm gonna show you guys. Essentially, you've been to my house where you've seen I have these PSA frames where you can fit 25 cards. So one of the PCs was just my favorite basketball players, and I only collect rookie cards. So there's a lot of people that collect inserts and all those PMGs and all the insert stuff. I concentrate mainly on just rookie cards. It could be an RPA, it could be just the base, but essentially just rookie cards. So I stay in my lane. You get to know the cards that you're good in, and just concentrate on that. But pretty much just rookie cards of 80s and 90s players.
When did you start to feel like, when you got back into it, you said a real estate agent got kind of your passion back into it as you went through the collection. When did you start to feel like, oh, I can do this and make some money at the same time?
Yeah, so probably around 18, 19. So collecting in 16, 17, it was like pretty much the Ben Simmons year. Then after that it was actually Lonzo Ball and Donovan Mitchell, then became Tatum.
Yeah.
So back then, when you open let's say a hobby box or a retail box, you would get most of your money back if you graded it. You remember, you did it too.
Yeah.
So you would open.
I did a little bit, not as crazy as like you guys.
So I used to open 18, 19 cello, and there was 20 boxes, and your hands would start hurting just ripping all those packs, because there's so much. There's like one pack, then there's 3 packs in there. There's the red, white, and blue packs. So all you can get is pretty much silvers and red, white, and blues and greens. So I would open all those, grade all the trays and the Lukas. And back then you would get like 80% PSA 10s on Luka.
Yeah, I remember that.
Or all you have to just look for centering. And back then, I don't even think PSA cared that much about centering for the Luka year until later on. I
agree with that. They were definitely way more lenient in like 18, 19, like than they are like today.
But once you start figuring out, that's how easy it was back 4 or 5 years ago, which you don't have the opportunities today. But once you figure out, okay, I can open these boxes, pull out the rookie cards I like, sell the other ones that you don't like, and still make a profit. That was a possibility back then if you knew what you were doing. But now a lot of it's being taken away with, PSA raising their prices, Panini raising the price of their boxes. So it got a little bit harder. But if you do the research, like what you guys, you've seen the industry change, and you've pretty much changed gears a few times, right? Pretty much from your collecting and to your flipping. It's pretty much like now you're buying this instead of that. So you just have to evolve with it. But back then, pretty much it was like throwing a dart, and whatever
anything would hit.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Exactly.
Anything would hit. Like you could grade a Kyle Kuzma Prism base rookie, and you could get like 150.
I graded a lot of Kyle Kuzmas, but yeah, you can open a box of NT and not feel like you got raped. Yeah. When you open it up and you sold it, you could get, I got like 75% back, and it wasn't even good. But now it's like you open a box and you're lucky to get 10% returns.
Well, I mean, is it interesting to see now, like when you got in, was it like, a lot of my friends got in with me, or like people that you used to know from collecting were still in it? What was that process like?
So actually, my other friend, Jerry, that you sold a few cards in. We used to collect back in the 90s at Frankenstein's. We used to go to Frankenstein's. We knew Mark.
Really?
Yeah, we used to hang out, it was every Wednesday and Saturday. So Mark, we used to hang around his tables, and, he was mainly doing autographs back then. But it was just 3 of us that started collecting back again. And we didn't even know what to do. Like literally the questions that I asked back then, it's like a lot of the newbies would ask you, and you'd be like, damn, you really don't know anything, right? It's like, what's a silver and what's a base? Like, you don't know the difference because it looks pretty. If you saw it on eBay, you can't really tell except on the label because they all look pretty shiny, especially if you had a good camera. Take a shiny picture. So we literally were asking, what's the difference between a silver and a base? So,
and that was all at like Frank and Sons you're getting those answers at? Or?
No. I'm saying when I started collecting again. So,
no, but where would you go to like kind of get those answers?
eBay, and then you just have to ask, ask people around on Facebook and
so
stuff like that.
You're in Facebook groups, like, and you were selling on eBay, like.
Yeah, what other groups were we in back then? I actually can't even remember because Facebook was later on. They started having groups, but it was just a group of people that you would just pretty much.
You're in group chats with.
Yeah, group chats, okay. And you would just ask, hey, what's this? What's that? So, but that was really early on, the silver stuff. We figured that stuff out pretty quick.
Yeah.
But we always wondered back then, and now we know the answer. Like, why is this red card worth less than a silver? And this one's numbered and the silver isn't. So it didn't make a lot of sense back then on a lot of stuff.
And now are you going out to a lot of shows to like be involved in the industry? Like, what are you kind of doing?
I used to go to almost every local show. We used to see each other at almost every local show here because sometimes you get some
good deals.
Yeah. Well, it's harder now, like I was saying, because now you're not looking for certain items that you can't flip and make money on. But I go to the national shows in Dallas pretty much every few months back then. But also, it doesn't hurt when you go to Dallas. Like, you can catch a Mavericks game. So,
especially when you're a big Mavericks fan.
Yeah.
Well, I know you just came back from a trip. Can you talk a little bit about your experience?
Yeah.
I know you went to Taiwan and collectors out there and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So I was telling you, and a lot of people don't believe me. The way you collect in Asia is totally different than the way you collect, let's say, here. Everyone's very like thinking all these shows. There's no shows, but the shops are totally different. Like I was telling you, the shops have pretty much no singles. It's all wax, and people are just there ripping packs, and that's all they do. And then there's very few shows, if any. So it's a different marketplace there. But
so you walk into a shop, it's just sealed and loose wax.
There's just wax everywhere, and whatever wax that you probably want, you can find there. That's how crazy it is. I went in there and asked, do you have 2017 NT, their football with Mahomes? They're like, yeah, we got cases of it.
And are their prices similar to what they are here? How does that work?
I think they use eBay comps or any of the comps from the auction houses and go by their wax prices there. But they just have a lot more of it. Like, I always ask people that, like, people get surprised. And I think I asked you before, like, what percent of the big cards do you think collectors are in Asia or in the world versus the United States? And what would you think?
What, like the biggest collectors?
The biggest collector or just collectors in general. What percentage of all the big cards?
I would say most are overseas.
Yeah, well, see, most people,
after talking to people like you guys, but yeah, most would think
it's probably 50-50 or slightly more towards Asia.
You know what? Like, Roy Wally, he always says he calls it the black hole because it's never coming back.
That's the difference. That's what I was trying to explain. That's what I was explaining to you guys earlier about reading a post. I used to not like F1, but our friend Hannah was like a huge F1 collector, and she was trying to explain to me and my other friend one day why F1 is such a good investment. This was before F1 blew up, and I just laughed it off and said no one in America was going to collect F1. But when you go across the world and you see that it's not all about America, no one across the world. You go to Taiwan, even though this one shop did have 2017 NT football, there's a reason why they still have it, because no one there was buying it.
Really?
So
you're saying the shops out there were using, like, we had F1 and were selling it?
I didn't really look for the F1, but I'm just my point being is F1 is watched everywhere worldwide, everywhere except America. So when they're saying people are pumping and dumping F1, there's no different than football. No one collects football outside of America. So if America is about 50% of the marketplace for cards, 50% of the world doesn't care about football. Like Taiwan, I rarely saw any football cards at all, if any.
What do they like to collect out there? Mostly basketball, right?
So instead of basketball always, baseball also, but instead of football, there's F1 and soccer.
It seems like soccer has like a decently strong, like in Taiwan and those places, because I've sold some like decent soccer cards over there before.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say about F1 is that you just said Asian hands, or diamond hands over there. You can't get anyone to sell. So that's why I think it might keep the value a little bit more. American collectors or flippers are going to be more likely to sell a grail than an Asian collector.
Well, and that's what but that's at the same time for the market, that's what you want, because you want cards to go into people's strong hands where they're not going to be selling them. The downside is like some of these massive cards that you don't know who has, like most likely is in somebody's collection that they're never going to.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe the Luka Black's out there and we just don't know.
Do you think that's like a thing where like somebody pulled it and they just didn't grade it and they just have it raw? Like
if they did, the cards in Asia, because in America, if someone pulled it, they're going to show it. They're going to put it on their Instagram. They're going to promote it somehow. So,
what do you think that card's worth?
Probably a few million, maybe. I don't know. At least equal to his NT.
What's his gold 10 worth now? Like 4 or 5?
Well, the last sale I think was 650. I think
650
in a PSA 10.
So somewhere around there.
Yeah. If you, well, unless you assume that the gold went down with all the rest of the stuff, but I don't think gold will go down as fast because there's only there's only certain few of them, and there's a lot of people looking for it.
So let's play the hypothetical. Let's say for some reason you break some 2018 Prism and you pull
the black.
What would you do?
I would grade it and then sell it. Probably. I wouldn't keep it. I would keep it for maybe a few months just to enjoy it.
But would you announce that you pulled it? Or would you keep it for a few months and then be like, oh yeah, I have this?
No, I would announce it. I would at least tell you guys or some, the people I know that, yeah, I pulled it and I have it. I mean, it's an American way. You're going to show it off.
I mean, I would go crazy. Dude, imagine we pulled that. We go straight to PSA, probably just like stay there.
Walk it through. Yeah, literally just say, maybe they'll give you a tour and let you see the grading and process. Who knows with that card?
I want to get into a couple like golden sales because I thought it was like super interesting and we talked about it earlier. The triple logo man LeBron did like, what was the final sale of that? 2.4 million, and then the Kobe LeBron Jordan Exquisite 101 logo man did 1.6, which I thought was, if the LeBron did 2.4, that triple of Kobe LeBron Jordan doing 1.6. I feel like is extremely cheap comparatively.
Probably, yeah. And it was a PSA 10, wasn't it? No, it was authentic.
No, I think it was authentic. I think
they're
both authentic.
They're both authentic. So, well, we know why the LeBron logo man went for so much. It was the hype about pulling it. So, by the way, what happened to all those bounties that people promised that they were going to pay for the Curry, the Warriors triple logo man and the...
Was there a bounty for the Warriors one too? I know Backyard Breaks was one that pulled the LeBron and they got a Lambo.
Yeah. You probably had like a 1 in 10 chance of getting that Lambo, huh? So we would be seeing you driving a Lambo. No. Would you keep the Lambo?
No, I would have sold it.
Sold it.
Yeah, I couldn't. It would be too tough to drive, anyways. But it would be cool. You could have done like a flip challenge with the Lambo. That would have been kind of cool. But yeah, people were talking about that. They're like, they were saying, the cases like were fixed or something like that. Like,
there's always conspiracy theories.
How do people like come up with like stuff like that? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
It's possible though.
We've talked about this. We've talked about this, like people saying that Panini like gives certain cases to certain people, which I do not think is like true whatsoever.
There are theories that they give certain players based on geographical location. So, like, if you're in Southern California, there are theories that you're going to get a lot of, Lakers or Clipper cards or whatever it is. And if you're in, I mean, in my cases, I kept getting Jacob Evans. So maybe it's the California. Oh, they see a California address and I end up with Jacob Evans NTs or Jordan Poole. My
thinking behind it is like, I just don't think Panini has like that capacity of like figuring out locations and like getting those cards into that box, into that location, with how like they've just been managed over the years.
Well, now that they have serial numbers and stuff you can scan, who knows? Maybe they know like certain case has, I don't know.
It's tough.
But it doesn't make any sense that they would ruin their reputation over that. So
I think the whole distribution aspect is going to be interesting. I know Fanatics at National, I was telling you about it, they're meeting with a lot of breakers, and I don't know exactly what's going on like hobby shop wise. It's tough to say.
When it first happened with Fanatics, I thought to myself, it's going to ruin the industry, because essentially they're going to take out all the middlemen that were making money. But you know what the middlemen did? These people that were flipping boxes or distributors or the card shops, they were the ones putting in more money in the hobby. But if all the hobby money gets sucked up by Fanatics and they're going to make all the money, they're not the ones buying the cards. So if Sasha's not making $100,000 flipping cards this year on Prism, he's not going to have another $100,000 to put in the hobby and buy more singles. But Fanatics, if they're making an extra, 100,000 times, 1,000, they're not going to be buying the singles and buying and pumping more money in the hobby. So that could be the negative side. But the positive side is maybe it's cheaper for everyone. But I doubt it, because they're still going to maximize their profit. They're a corporation that's set up to make money. So,
but how do you think they're going to like distribute the product?
I think it's going to be through their website, and it's going to be one price fits all, kind of like how they do their apparel. So if you want to buy, this is my guess, and we don't really know, right? We're just all guessing. So let's say you want to buy Prism box. They're just going to set the price at $4.99 and sell it to the shops or their preferred locations at, let's say, 20-30% below that. And that's their margin of 20-30%. Just like what they do for jerseys, what they do for autographed jerseys. I'm sure that's what it's going to be. That's my guess.
So what happens to, hobby shops and breakers? Like,
they would have to make money on the secondary market, but not direct. But which they pretty much do now anyways, because they're not buying it direct from, very few shops actually buy direct from the factory. They're going through distributors. So
I think the distributors are like,
they're going to be out. Yeah, they're going to be gone. But a lot of those distributors were collectors too that put money in. So you're going to.
I think they're getting cashed out real nice. They've cooked over the last couple of years, regardless of them going away. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's like something where they're losing money necessarily.
Yeah, hopefully it's tough, hard to say if they kept it. So
I mean,
selling cards.
I think it's overall a good thing that Fanatics took over, because of the way that it was happening over the last couple of years. Didn't even make sense. Didn't, like, the distribution of product never made sense, I think.
Yeah.
Like how a card shop gets the product, how a breaker can get the product. It was always weird to me.
It seems like breakers got all the product now, right? It used to be all the card shops got the product.
Well, and that was the one thing I heard with at National, Fanatics was trying to meet with breakers. I don't know if it was more than hobby shops or what, but it was weird.
Yeah. Breakers are kind of, I used to enjoy breaking. Breaking was fun when it was affordable.
Breaking has gotten bigger over the last year, I would say, though. Way bigger.
Yeah. I don't know. Bigger, but in terms of price, bigger, yeah. But I don't know if it's more participants. Seems like it's the same few people doing it, right?
Really?
I don't know. I used to be in a lot of great breaks when it made sense, but now it makes almost 0 sense.
Yeah, your return on investment is.
Yeah, unless you're trying to chase like it's like playing the lotto right now, right? Especially that LeBron logo, man. You're trying to hit a $3 million, or $2.4 million lottery ticket. So,
but it is crazy how that literally got broken.
So we're starting consignment business where we're gonna help people, especially in Asia, because you know how difficult it is for people in Asia to, let's say, grade a card, sell a card.
So let's do that again. I'm gonna put your mic down. So yeah, there you go. All right, let's put this down. We're rolling, right?
Yeah.
You sure? You sure?
Yeah. Right. So this is what I brought back from Taiwan. This is kind of the new business we're trying to do. It's geared towards mainly collectors in Asia. So a lot of people don't understand it's very difficult for them to, let's say, grade a card, sell a card, and then receive payment on a card. So we're trying to eliminate all those avenues where, let's say, they send you a whole package like this, 20, 30 cards. Some of them belong in eBay auctions. Some of them belong in, let's say, PWCC auction. Some of them are super high-end that belong in a golden auction. So if I'm taking it all from one collector and bringing these in there, they don't want to have to go to 3 different avenues to get paid and follow their auction. So they'll just, if they send it to me, I'll take care of it. I'll know which card goes to which, auction site. And if they tell me which one they prefer to put in, I'll put it in there. But the collectors in Asia are a little different. Like we were talking about, they got a lot more diamond hands. Let's just look at some of these things right here.
So basically, this is all the stuff you got.
This is all the stuff I brought back. Most of them they want just to be crossed over. Some of them, a couple of them they want sold. And then,
so you're basically taking care of whether it's a cross, crack, and hopefully potentially sell.
And what people don't understand is a lot of people in Asia don't want to mail this, because this is probably like $1 million in cards right here. And they don't want to just mail it. And you've seen the horror stories of FedEx and stuff that happens there. And then there's also, that's only one worry. Then you also have to worry about customs. So they get stuck in customs sometimes, and they want you to report like what's in there, what's the value. Some countries are harder than others. But this stuff is, I was supposed to give credit. So most of these cards is this guy, SB Doi, and Asia Gem Mint had a lot of the cards. And another package right here is going to be what I bought while I was in Asia, and we'll open that right after. So I wanted to give them. This is a combination.
I already see some fire off the top.
So I hope it's packaged well.
I mean,
so some Jordan autos, Kobe autos. Look at this Luka orange contenders. We got some PC stuff. We got Anthony Edwards gold contenders.
Oh shit! Is that rookie?
Yeah. Those are stuff that they sent for us to get graded.
There's two.
Yeah.
There's two. We got
more Kobe autos.
You just passed through the MJ auto like it was nothing. That's fire.
And how about this Jaw?
Oh, that's an NTRPA.
Yeah.
And
we haven't even gotten the best card yet. Let's get to the. These are all mostly BGS slabs, so.
Okay, let me just go through these real quick so people know when they're listening on the pod. Kelvin just pulled out a Ja Morant NTRPA nasty patch. He pulled a Kobe. What is this? Winning materials out of 100 Kobe auto. He has two contenders Edwards golds. One of them's a variation, I believe, and the autos are actually pretty decent on these. And he has an MJ auto, 1 out of 10 signature shots. And then I think what else?
Some Kobe autos here.
Yeah, he's just pulling out fire. Luka, this contenders.
Yeah,
contenders optic orange
out of 25.
Out of 25. I don't. Oh, Iverson contenders gold. I mean, Kobe auto. So just some fire off the bat.
Some Tatis autos. They just want to add
auto grade
to it. So these are services that this seems like it's a piece of cake for us to go do, but
for them,
it's not easy. Yeah.
There's no like PSA location out there.
I think there's going to be a drop off, but I'm not sure how it works. But not really. Someone had a Curry PC. If you can't tell,
that's fire. Damn, that's insane. There's a 2018-19 Panini Flawless Curry 1 of 1 logo gems. 13-14 Panini Preferred silhouette with a nasty patch. That's a nasty patch. So this stuff they just want to move and sell?
No, these are crossovers. They want to try and cross over.
Gold Curry.
And you want to know what's funny? This card got into my box somehow. I used to own this card.
I think you showed me this card, right?
Ja Morant Contenders Gold, Optic Gold.
Somebody had it over there?
So I sold it on Golden, and then it got sold on PWCC like a few weeks later, and someone in Asia bought it. And he just wants to add auto grade. But let's get to the big card.
I mean, these weren't big
this
already.
This is a pretty big card.
That is a big card. Credentials.
Are you ready to hold 8. the most expensive card you've ever held, Franklin?
Wow. Curry rookie NT nasty patch 9.5 with a 10 auto.
What's it numbered out of?
25.
Yeah, that's the Century one. I don't know. What do you think that goes for?
Didn't that a 99 just sell as a 9.5?
Yeah, I think it went for like four something, right?
So this is good.
And look at that patch.
The patch is nasty.
Nice auto too. Is it 10 auto?
Yeah, 10 auto. That is, dude. I mean, this is crazy, bro. Should we just pull up to like a local show and just put it in the showcase? Put like $20K on it and just see if anybody notices.
I did get permission from the person to show this, so but I'm not bringing it to a show, obviously.
Yeah, this is sick.
There's another. Oh, this Anthony.
If you're like a Curry collector whale or just like, I don't know, like a investment guy, this is huge.
Yeah, it's pretty much as good as it gets.
So the guy that owns it, is he trying to cross it or something like that? Oh, he's trying to cross it.
I mean, the subgrades are good. The only subgrade that's a 9 is centering, and I don't think there's any
centering. The centering's not that bad. Like it's not like it's barely off left to right, but
yeah, it's definitely within 55, 40.
But you could see this PSA 10ing. That's crazy. I mean, I think we're willing to make a potential offer on it after the pod.
I heard one that's going to buy it for
just a nice
whatever Sasha gives them.
A nice dinner and maybe like a gift card and get it done. That's so sick.
I should put this Curry into my top 25 list that we're going to show later.
That's so sick.
Because I don't have a Curry card.
That's probably got to be one of the most expensive cards I've ever held.
So yeah, like what I was saying, and it's totally different way that they do business in Asia that we do business here. I'll give you a perfect example. Out of all these people you sell to, Sasha, how many have you actually met in person?
Not a lot of them.
Yeah. So in America, we could do deals online without ever even seeing a person.
Yeah.
Like I'm a mortgage broker, so I do mortgage loans. I haven't seen ever met most of my borrowers. Most of the deals I buy cards in, I never even met most of the people, until we see each other at a show.
Okay.
But in Asia, it's all like you have to meet them, go have dinner with them, and then then.
So they won't do anything over like.
Yeah, it's not as easy to like just mail out $100,000 card. Like
you have to go out there, make the relationship with them.
Yeah,
and they have to like you, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's
hopefully.
But I'm just saying it's more of an in-person thing than here. It's like everything's almost done online. Like pretty much, I would say 90% of my deals I make are all online, and you never even meet the person. Yeah. You might meet the person later on, but you've already made the deal with them, right?
Yeah.
So you see them at a show later. Oh, I traded you this card.
Yeah.
So a little bit
but
different.
I feel like that's why people still like doing the shows, just because they want that in-person experience, even though it might not even be as worth it, like buying versus buying online. They still want that experience and interaction.
That's the other reason that's more difficult to make deals in national, because they limit how much money you can actually bring. So if someone wanted to buy a card and bring it to America,
you're talking about
like someone from Asia
international trip.
So if someone internationally wants to fly out here, that's what bring 10,000 before you have to report it. So how are you going to make any deals making, bringing 10,000 now?
Yeah. And there was definitely more international people at this one though, because the COVID guidelines.
Oh, really?
Stuff.
Yeah. And you're going to get probably more trades because they can bring their cards and they can trade versus buying.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the amount of fire that's in here is absolutely crazy. We literally just rolled through some nasty Curry nice patch autos just because we had the fire NT rookie. But I mean, that's number 8-25. That's kind of cool. But yeah, there's just an insane. There's a 101s, 101s, another 101. And then the 8.5 Credentials Kobe. This is probably one of my favorite cards.
Yeah, it used to be one of the best cards, huh?
Yeah, I remember like a PSA 10 did like a pretty
600 something.
I think. And then I've literally seen. I've seen this card.
I had it before. I paid 13,000 at one point.
Doesn't seem bad.
And then I flipped it for 33. And then I think it just recently sold for 15 or 18 on PWCC.
Really?
Yeah. After he got eliminated from the playoffs, I think.
And then these raw like Kobe's and Jordans, I'm assuming you're probably just gonna get them graded, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so sick.
We'll see. Well,
NT out of 5.
Maybe we'll have a reveal and see what they get.
That's great. Yeah, I'm down.
What grades they get.
But the NT out of 5, I didn't even notice that.
We might get a bunch of PSA 6 slabs. Who knows?
No, I mean, some of these you'll send to BGS though, right?
These they want a PSA. Well, if it's BGS, I'm not gonna do it because I can't drop it off.
Oh, okay. So they want these PSA. That is crazy. So like something like this, they want it graded, or they want out of the
they want it
sealed?
graded. Yeah.
Damn,
A lot of it just wants slabbed.
that is crazy. Okay, I want to get into your top 25. So we talked about this earlier.
My NBA top 25. Okay.
Well, you have your top.
Let me put this stuff away first.
Okay. Well, no, I can hold this stuff and then I'll give it to you later. It's chill.
I think they were in some kind of order, but it's okay.
My bad.
I have photos to match who's is what. Where's the big curry? Is that still is there in your pocket somewhere, Sasha?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Franklin was doing some behind the scenes action. That thing's already sold, bro. Okay, so we talked about your top 25 before we did the pod.
I'm doing a PC, like we were saying. You're asking me what I collect.
Yeah.
So I decided just to theme it towards the top 25 players of all time. My list of top 25 players of all time. So I only collect rookie cards. So I'm just gonna have the rookie card of every player, and then my PC kind of like.
So this is a rookie card. So this is your top 25 favorite players.
NBA players. Not favorite players, just what I think is the top 25 best players of NBA.
And you have a card for every one of them.
No. There are some that are blank that's why I need to work on.
Okay, so we'll go through the ones that you have and we'll go through the ones
I actually have some that didn't quite make the list. So these are the players that didn't quite make the list. But when I say my PC evolves is like this, let's say Malone was in my list and I have a PSA 9. I would eventually, if I make look for a PSA 10 and replace it with a PSA 10. So guys that didn't make the list were Drexler, Mullen, Reggie Miller. Whoops. You just bought.
Damn.
James Worthy, Patrick Ewing, Kevin Garnett, Dennis Rodman, Isaiah Thomas, Dominique Wilkins. So these are
out of your 25. Yeah. Just out of your 25.
Yeah. These are the ones.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah. Just didn't make the list.
Okay.
So
I really want to know who's in your 25.
I actually made it 26 because Larry Bird and Magic are on one card. So I can have an extra card.
Oh, okay.
All right. So number 26, David Robinson. So that's his most iconic card, the 89 hoops and a PSA 10. So he's 26. It was between him and these other guys. And I include Robinson.
Those are hard to 10, right? Or...
This is like the holy grail back in 89, like pulling a David Robinson hoops. So not much more I want to really say. Number 25. I'm a little biased.
You have Luka in your 25?
I'm a little biased, but yeah, he made Nick Wright's 19th overall, but 25. No one's put together 4 better seasons than NBA to start a career.
That is a very hot take.
I had him higher before. 24, John Stockton. It was questionable between him, Isaiah Thomas, and Steve Nash, but no one's ever going to break John Stockton's assist records.
Respectable call.
No one will ever break his probably steals record. I mean, literally, John Stockton averaged like 12 assists for like 19 years. So no one's ever going to even break that record. So Stockton's number 24. And I'm a little biased on this one too. And look what number I made him. Jordan's
23.
Number. Scottie Pippen at number 23. The greatest sidekick of all time.
I like that. I like that play.
So here's one, 22. I don't have a card of him. So I'm looking for one. I'll probably start with a silver. Nikola Jokic.
You have Jokic wow.
He's won 2 MVPs.
I feel like you got like Luka and Jokic pretty high.
Well, he's got 2 MVPs and he's got a higher PR than almost pretty much any other player that's played before in a single season. So, and this player, I went back and forth. I don't have a card either. So I'm looking for Moses Malone rookie if anyone has it in like a PSA 9 or 10. So Moses Malone's 21. He actually won 3 MVPs, which I didn't know.
I didn't know that either. Who's 20?
20. The reveal, Karl Malone. So if you have Stockton in the top 25, you have to have Malone above him, right? So 19, I pretty much know. Malone, he goes with Malone. Charles Barkley.
Okay.
So it's between
PSA 10. That's a nice.
This used to be a $15,000 card, right?
What does it go for now?
I would guess 6 or 7. I don't know.
That's a pretty nice card though. Charles Barkley, 86 Flair, PSA 10.
Number 18. And that's why I wanted this card from Sasha, but I kept asking Sasha, I want this card.
You asked me like one time.
Yeah. And then
I said I gave you a price on it, and then I sold it literally at that.
Yeah. So Jerry West is number 18. I asked you about 2 cards, right? And they're going to be on their list. Yeah. Dirk Nowitzki, number 17.
Okay.
He should have 2 rings, but best European player of all time. Number 16, I have Giannis, and I don't have a single Giannis rookie, so I'm looking for a Giannis rookie too.
Would you have Giannis over Dirk too?
Giannis has 1 ring, just like Dirk, but he has 2 MVPs.
Oh, okay, yeah, I respect that.
And he's putting up some crazy numbers. Of course, the numbers today aren't the same because I have Kevin Durant.
Yeah, the game's played way
I
differently.
have Kevin Durant at 15.
Yeah.
No comment now.
Yeah.
14 Oscar.
I had a card of his recently.
13 Dr. J. See, I need a rookie Dr. J also. I just put this sticker in there. I bought this from you.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The 9. Number 12. Akeem Olajuwon.
That's all. Oh, that's a PSA 10.
Yeah.
That's a nice 86 clear PSA 10.
Yeah.
It's a nice card.
Oh, I used to have all the PSA 10s of 86 clear.
You had the full set?
No, just of all the good players. All the good.
Oh, you have a no-go on there.
This one has nothing. 11 is blank. I think my Post-it disappeared. Let's see who it was.
I don't want to look.
Number 11. Oh, I know who. Do I know who it was?
I don't know. I can't look.
Let's find out.
Maybe it was in here.
No, it's a card that I was gonna put in there. It's probably a card that I have that I forgot to put in. Who is my number 11? Let's look it up.
Do you have some notes on it?
I have my list. Let's see who number 11 is. Oh, Curry.
Curry is your 11.
I was supposed to put that Curry in here. That's why. But Curry's number 11. Number 10.
So you have Curry. Oh, okay. I feel like last year, if we said Curry over KD, people would be like, eh.
I think it's proven Curry's better now.
But then let's say if KD wins another ring.
Yeah, but KD had to come to Curry to get a ring.
But wouldn't you say KD is just a better player than Curry? Like, just hooper for hooper?
I'm talking about career-wise, though. I'm talking about just...
Curry changed the game. KD, I don't know. He's not someone that changed the game the way Curry did. Number 10, Shaq. I mean,
Solid.
That's pretty much where he's at.
Yeah.
Number 9, Tim Duncan. You got to put Duncan and Shaq right next to each other, right? Duncan's
What card is that? Finest?
Bowman's best.
Bowman's
See, I need
best.
to improve on my Tim Duncan rookie. I need to find a
His,
Topps Chrome refractor.
His
PSA 10.
refractors are cheap of his
But
rookie.
essentially, that's what I do. So when you're into collecting at first and you want to work on a PC, you start with a cheaper card and then replace it with another card when your finances see fit. So you start with the Bowman's best card, which is probably like a $200-$300 card, and then you upgrade to maybe a PSA 9 refractor, which is like a few $1,000s. And then if one day you want his Chrome refractor PSA 10, and you upgrade to that. Number 8, this is where people are going to get mad at me at. Kobe Bryant. I gave him number 8 because he's jersey number 8.
No.
Number 8.
You got to have him at least in your top 5.
So here's where I have a finest PSA 9 refractor, which hopefully one day.
That's with coating, though. That's a good copy.
But if I work on upgrading my PC, then you know which one you want. You want the Topps Chrome refractor PSA 10
with some no greening.
No greening is the key, right?
I need to see who you put over Kobe.
Well, I think everyone here is pretty much self-explanatory. This is what's gonna Wilt, number 7.
Respectable.
He has all those records, right? Number 6, Bill Russell.
Yeah.
I gave him number 6 because he's jersey number 6. There's kind of a theme to that. I did that for a few players. Number 5, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And here's where I'm going to have problems with. There is no Kareem Abdul-Jabbar rookie I can fit in that showcase.
Oh, because it's all the
it's a jumbo card.
Yeah.
So I have to find another Kareem card. So maybe someone in that watches your channel will give me a suggestion. What Kareem card? I was thinking maybe the 86 Fleer sticker or the 86 Fleer.
I kind of like his Icy Bear and stuff like that.
Icy Bear, what's that?
Or what's it called? It's not. I don't know if it's rookie, but it's called Icy Bear or something like that.
Oh.
Never heard of it?
Oh,
I'm gonna look it up.
All right. So number 4 and number 3 is the same card. So I'm not going to put 2 cards in there, but I just have it in here just to.
Didn't you buy one of those off
me? I bought
too?
the 7 off you.
Yeah.
With the Dr. J at the same time. So Bird is number 4 and Magic is number 3.
Oh, yeah. Here it is.
That's a jumbo card too.
Yeah.
You can't fit that.
I like it.
Yeah.
Looks sick.
So Bird and Magic are 4 and 3.
Okay.
Number 2.
Wait, Bird and Magic. Wow, you put those guys over Kobe. It's interesting.
What's Kobe done? What makes Kobe better than them?
What makes those guys better than them though? Because like Magic, before Jordan like took over, like Magic was that guy basically. Pretty much.
I mean, I'm gonna flat out say it. Kobe's probably the most overrated player in this list.
See, the cameraman doesn't like Kobe at all.
He won 3 rings with Shaq, right? And I'm pretty sure you put any good all-star caliber shooting guard during those 3 years, Shaq would have won them anyway.
No, I think if you there's no way.
You put a Ray Allen, you put a Reggie
Miller,
you put who else? Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, they still would have won.
I completely disagree.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'll give you guys one thing to do. If you're a huge Kobe fan and if you think he's so great, look up what his numbers are shooting-wise in the NBA Finals. He's like Jason Tatum before Jason Tatum this year.
Well, you also have to realize, though, the game was played a lot differently than where it is now. Now you can get open shots way easier than you could.
Yeah, so that makes Tatum even worse, right?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, getting shot, like the game. I think the game offensively was way harder.
It was. So
in the early 2000s.
How can Kobe be compared to Jordan when he's nowhere close to those numbers? Jordan shot like over 50% in the playoffs. Kobe shot like 40% in pretty much 2 or 3 NBA Finals. We should look that up. What was Bryant's field goal percentage in his NBA Finals?
Let's look it up.
Stat news. What do you think?
I mean, but you also got to think about it. Jordan played against a lot of like. It's hard because with star-wise, like going against every single night, Kobe played against, I would say, tougher opponents. Like athletically. Yeah, but if a plumber is punching you and you're like 6'7",
not during the Jordan era. Keep in mind, Jordan played with the same players that Kobe played against.
I agree with that. No, there's some players, yeah.
Kobe was spoon-fed, though.
How was he spoon-fed? He grew up in Italy. He was born over here, went to Italy.
I'm talking about his rookie years.
So he shot. What do you think?
He wasn't spoon. He came off the bench.
What do you think his field goal? What do you think his field goal percentage is?
What? The Lake? Yeah, he was. The coach didn't like him.
Look at the team that was around him.
In 37 games, a lot of games in NBA Finals, right?
Yeah.
What do you think his field goal percentage was?
From the field, 42.
He had less than 40.
42.
41.2.
Okay, he had to take tough shots. He was the guy. He had to take tough shots. I bet you there were so many shots if he didn't take, like his field goal percentage would go up at least. Bro, you just do not see. This is a huge LeBron fan. This is the problem with LeBron fans.
Well, number 2 is LeBron.
You have
and
LeBron
number 1
over Kobe.
And number 1 is Jordan.
Oh my god!
And there's the PSA 10 Jordan Fleer here too for it.
And then once LeBron passes points, he's not LeBron number 1.
Who did you want the guy? If you're an opponent of the Lakers, who did you not want to shoot the ball at the end of the game?
If you're what?
If you're playing against the Lakers, you're like, no, not that guy.
The Lakers right now?
Give it to Kobe. Let Kobe shoot it.
They would not do that.
Robert Horry is who you didn't want the ball. You know, if you were look at the Kings, Robert Horry hit the. If you look at all those Lakers championship, if you look at all the Lakers championship runs, the biggest shots made were not did by take Kobe tough Bryant. Shots.
You also got to think about they were looking for Kobe to get the ball, so they had to dish it to somebody.
You don't think they were looking for Jordan to shoot it every time, and he still shot it every time? You look at Jordan.
Okay, but you could also make this debate. The year that Jordan left to go play baseball, didn't they make it to the NBA Finals?
No, they made it to the Eastern Conference.
Okay, they made it to the Eastern Conference semifinals.
That means second round.
Okay, in the regular season, they were probably 3 or 4 games under what they were with Jordan. Like
they won 55, and the year before that, I think. They
won 62. So you take Kobe off of that team in 09, 010. They're not. I mean.
Worst team ever.
When LeBron left the
Cavs.
Well, I agree with that. Yeah.
But although Kobe's 2 years that he won the championship with Powell kind of redeemed himself because If you took Kobe off the Shaq team, they would still win 60 games.
Okay, you take Kobe off of the Kobe in 09, 010 had like Powell and then Bynum and
Bynum was really good for 3 years.
Okay, but dude, you look at all these like star like teams now, and you look at what Kobe had, and you're just like, what the fuck?
He also had Steve Nash, Dwight Howard,
God, bro. You guys are tripping.
Lamar Odom.
Those are some Kobe haters. Lamar Odom was nice,
Ron Artest.
But still, like, oh, that's my guy.
Don't forget.
But still, it's not like you have Kyrie and Wade and Chris Bosh.
They had someone else, Phil Jackson.
Ron had Ty Lue.
LeBron had.
I hate LeBron, but he's probably better than Kobe with what he's done in his career.
So are you saying once LeBron passes most points ever, want to be number one?
No, because it's not all about. That's based on longevity, not because he's the best.
But he's gonna be top 5 in every category. He'll have 4 rings.
Oh, if you want to see number one based on statistics, yeah, you can't argue with that because of all this other statistics. But number one player overall, it's hard to say. Then that means you would have to probably put Wilt.
You also got to think with Kobe. You also got to think with Kobe. Once Shaq left, he didn't have nobody for like 4 or 5 years. No, he didn't.
That's why you said
he wanted to be the main guy.
No, he didn't have no help.
No, he didn't want any help. He wanted to score 35 a game.
No, I did disagree with that.
Yeah, who wanted the ball? He even called those his selfish years, I think.
Yeah, that's why they did the brothers.
You think for 5 years the Lakers were just like, oh yeah, Kobe doesn't want nobody, so we're not gonna give it to him? You guys are tripping.
No, about 2-3 years. They actually didn't. They didn't make the playoffs the first year without Shaq, and then the next 2 years they lost to the Suns as like a 7 seed or something, like an 8 seed. But granted, they did have Smush Parker at point guard.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't have nobody.
And Kwame Brown at center.
He told you in the media. What about when he sold the game because they said he wasn't passing enough? That's all he did was pass, didn't shoot at all.
But
I kind of like that.
These are just my opinions. So don't say you're wrong because these are just opinions. Everyone could have an opinion.
I mean, I agree with that. Not with the Kobe stuff, but I agree with that. But relatively, when everybody has like a top 25, I feel like there's always going to be some like part of it where like people don't agree with.
Kobe's not even in the top 20 of player efficiency rating of all time.
He had to take tough shots.
But he's like number 2 player ever in history. I mean, if you look at the history of the player efficiency rating.
I think the general consensus is understood he's not even in the top.
This is how I look at.
Only people in LA think that. Actually,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's only in LA. Outside, I think people understand he's not top 5 anymore.
So this is the way I think about it. And this is the way I've always thought about like my top players is if there's a 7-game series, who would I want on my team? I can pick one guy, and I would. In my head, that's how I think about like obviously I'm gonna pick a guy that's like within that range, but that's how I pick it.
But you would pick Kobe in a
7-game series, yeah.
But for Game 7, do you know what he did in Game 7? The one NBA Finals.
No, I'm saying a full series.
I think he went 6 for 24.
He also had like
they won because Ron Artest
15 rebounds,
and Derek Fisher hit a big shot.
He also had 15 rebounds. D-Fish is nice, but you also got to look at like the style matchup of that series. Like, and I think Kobe had a broken finger or something like that.
So I had mail day also when I was gone. So this one I've been waiting forever to open. I told myself I wasn't going to buy this card because
that's one card.
This is actually, I didn't buy the single card. I didn't want to buy this card because of the height. I should have bought it earlier. But you guys will see.
My mail day sucks compared to this.
No?
Compared to all of...
That wasn't a real mail day. That
compared to the Taiwan trip and this. Oh, you got a star?
Yeah.
Those have been going crazy ever since PSA was able to grade them now.
I want to be careful when I open
Yeah, you don't want to...
How do you open this thing?
There you go.
It is. So it's still in the team bag. So that's why I bought it, because I wanted one that's still sealed.
So are you going to grade...
No, I'm just going to keep it the way it is, because people are opening these up.
Now, do you guys have off an auction house, or just...
I bought it off someone on Facebook.
Okay.
This is the first time seeing this card, so...
Hopefully
obviously, they're always off-centered.
How's it look?
What's the highest grade right now? 7?
I think it's an 8. I think there's a 9 from an old grade.
Didn't an 8 almost do like close to like 100,000 or something like that?
If you look at it, these all look like they're different sizes in terms of each. I don't like this corner up top, but I don't know. I don't know if it's from the bag or. But either way, it's staying in the bag because, like I said, let's say there's only 5,000 or 3,000 sets made, whatever the real number is. There's never going to be. Having sealed ones is just going to be less and less of them, right?
Yeah. So that
one I spent quite a bit. I think I spent 35,000 on that one set.
So you think it's more valuable, like keeping it like that, than it would?
I'm gambling it is, but who knows? And I kind of like. I had that set. I bought a whole entire star set at one point for 10,000 the whole year, but I ended up not taking it. I had a deal that was for 10. This is the last item that I got, and I've been collecting these lately, and for some reason these things have exploded. So can you guess what it is?
You've been collecting it lately and they've exploded.
Just in general, this type of
game used jersey.
Wow, you are good, Sasha. You got it right.
I want to know who it is.
Hello, going for like 13,000.
Well, the Anthony Edwards is what my friend in Taiwan was bidding on, and he thought he could get it for like 30 grand. It went for 60 grand. But that Anthony Edwards was kind of special because he wore it 16 times. You know how rare that is now? They wear it one time. Some games they wear for half a game. So this is directly from My Gray. And you don't have to guess what player it is. I'm pretty sure you know who it is.
Jordan. Oh,
This is my first time opening it. I just got back and this is mailed to me. So it's a Luka jersey.
So you're gonna like hang it up?
I'm gonna keep it in this bag.
Well, a lot of people like hang it up and stuff, right?
Yeah, I want to get an autograph. So have you seen how crazy what they do now to photo match it? Literally the stitching. Like if they see this stitch that comes out this way, they match it to the game. That's how they'll take a photo of it. Say this has a thread coming out, and this one has a thread coming out. So this one is the same jersey that you wore. It's kind of crazy the photo evidence. They'll be like, look at the way this stitching is.
I wish NT was game used.
Yeah, that's why I think jerseys are the next thing, is because there's going to be less of it if Fanatics decides to make everything game used, and they have to buy up all these game used jerseys.
So you think? So did you buy that more as like you wanted it? But
this is my second Luka jersey. I have a white, and now I wanted a blue. So worst case scenario, I want to get them autographed and just framed in my house. But it's difficult. I hear stories that you're not supposed to really like put them in, display it because you don't want sunlight and other stuff that happens to it, So
I guess unless it's in like a darker room, right?
Yeah. But the other thing is also game used, so it's probably sweaty. Maybe it gets moldy if you like don't put it in the correct elements. I'm gonna have to leave some of this trash here with you.
Oh, it's fine. Do you have any? You have another box here too, don't you?
No, that was a Jordan Star. Oh. This is this.
Which one would you say was your favorite pickup out of this? All the stuff I got today.
Your card?
Zion Blue Prism 10, Mbappe Purple Refractor PSA 10, Curry Flawless Patch Auto out of 15, or the
I think you can guess. I think you can guess what will be my favorite. Remember no. Remember what I said? What do I only collect? Yeah, so I would say the Zion, even though.
Well, the Mbappes are technically.
Yeah, but it's soccer, and I don't even know. I've never even watched him play. Have you ever watched him play a soccer game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's one more game than I've seen.
This Tiger Woods stuff is sneaky though too. I think my favorite's probably the Curry. They got a 7.5 Surface though. I don't know what the heck it was.
It's probably usually like some kind of I would say something that's stuck on the card, like an indent. Yes, so it got 8.5 overall. So that gave that. If it wasn't for that 7.5, you'd probably get a 9. Yeah, it'll be 9.
I feel like there's going to be like an upswing in like basketball in like the next 3-4 weeks. Because football got so hot and is still like very like in its I don't know, people are going crazy over it, where I just feel like there has to be a rush over into basketball.
See, this is the stuff that if people just want to spend time, they can figure out why. I mean, one way, we made money early on with cards was buying, let's say, a card like this and seeing, why did this get a 7.5 on surface? And you see what the flaw is. Once I've cracked them open, let's say I have a PSA 7 and I crack it open, and I always look at it. I was like, why did it get a 7? So I won't make the mistake of buying the same card again. That's good advice for anyone that's buying cards and looking to grade them. You crack an 8, because people always say, oh, why does this get an 8? PSA's pop control. They always say stuff like that. But why don't you crack an 8, take a look at it, through a nice lighting, and see why it got an 8. And most of the time you'll see why. It'll be like, okay, there's some surface issue here, or okay, the centering isn't perfect here, or there's something. And then you can prevent you making the same mistakes of buying that same card with the same flaw and getting another 8 again. So, I mean, the problem with this card right now is the holder's really scuffed up. So even if there was a surface issue, I wouldn't be able to
you couldn't tell. Yeah.
So, well,
I mean, I'm like happy with the grade, but maybe I'll crack it eventually. I don't know.
But you do see that online all the time where people are like, oh, I can't believe my card got an 8. But they don't even look at why it got an 8. I mean, when you're a kid, you're always asked.
Or they're just looking at it from like the surface viewpoint.
You're always told to ask why. Like, why? So if you know why, then you can fix the problem of getting another card that's not going to have the same issues. I shouldn't just be throwing this box around. It's like $1 million box, right?
Yeah, I was like, is you really going to throw it that way? That would be kind of crazy. Here, let me put your mic closer to you so you can.
So we'll hold this card one more time in case, well, I almost just dropped it, but it's number 15 out of 25. But this patch is sick.
It's a nasty patch. I want to show you the one that went on Golden.
And you can tell it's the R and the S from Warriors, right? It looks like it, right? I don't know.
Yeah, that's an R for sure. That's the
R and that's the S, right?
Yeah. That's a nasty patch. Before we end it here, can you talk a little bit more about the consignment business you have on eBay?
So I just started a new Instagram. It's KZ Consignments. It's K as in Kelvin and then last name Z. So it's KZ, my initials. What we're going to do is probably offer to, have grading. So I'll submit the cards. That's PSA option if they want to. And then either send it to PWCC or Golden or eBay. So it's pretty much an all-in-one. So if, let's say, Franklin has a bunch of cards he wants to sell, and they all range from $100 to $30,000, then I would probably submit anything under $1,000 and list it on eBay. Anything above $5,000-$10,000, then you might consider other auction houses depending on what card it is. So
you're an all-in-one though, essentially.
All-in-one, and the main thing that you don't have to worry about is you don't have to go negotiate like a
percentage
buyer's premium with Golden, and especially it's kind of like a bulk rate. So if I'm sending them 100 cards at $2 or $3 million, they're going to give me a better rate. So it's kind of like, because I come from the mortgage broker field. So what we do is find the best interest rates for our clients. So this is pretty much finding the best, auction rates that you can get without having to send, $1 or $2 million in cards. If you're sending it to me and I'm sending $1 or $2 million in cards, you're going to get a better deal. And the main catch to it is a lot of people don't like to deal with, let's say, Golden or PWCC when it comes to getting paid. Like, when am I getting paid? Once they show paid on their system, as long as it's not like a $2 million card where I have to pay up front, like if it's a $10,000, $20,000 card and PWCC already shows paid, I'm just going to pay them out right away. And then you can take that money and
do whatever you want,
buy it faster. Because PWCC takes literally like a month or two before you get paid.
Sometimes it's take a minute. Yeah.
And then Golden, sometimes you don't even know if it's ever been paid. And they don't even communicate with you. So, I mean, they've gotten a lot better. So I'm saying they've definitely gotten a lot better. But in general, those auction houses are going to take 1 or 2 months to pay you.
So basically, with you, if they have a raw card, they can grade it with you. You can figure out, hey, look, I think this card would do better on eBay versus Golden, or this card would maybe do better on Golden versus PWCC.
Yeah, like I'll give you an example. Like these cards that you have, I'll be like, okay, yeah, this is Ion. This is an eBay card. Did you buy it on eBay?
No.
Oh, you bought it on PWCC auction?
No, it was on Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. Yeah. So I would be like, okay, yes, list this on eBay. It's a roughly a $10,000 card, right? So you would have no problem selling that on eBay, and we have rates on my Instagram page. So, and here's another thing that I hated. Let's say you sent to Probstein or whoever else it was. You don't know if it's ever paid or whatever. I used to use Wharf, and Wharf was really good. So anytime your card got paid on eBay, he would send you an email, or it'll tell you your item has been paid. So you know right away, like you're going to get paid, and they pay without, once eBay pays me, which is like 3 or 4 business days, you get paid right away.
Dope.
So a lot of it is just getting paid faster, which, in your line of work is once you get paid, you could use that money and make more money.
It's crazy, especially now, like the money, like with what it is now. Like before, you could use like such little amounts of money and build it up, and now it's like almost like you're using like bigger chunks of
money. I know. You used to go, if you went to a show with 10 grand, that was a lot of money back then.
That was crazy money.
Yeah, I think I went to my first national in a long time. I went to the 2019 national with $10,000, and I thought, wow, I'm going to buy a lot of cards with $10,000.
And you probably did.
Yeah, yeah. At that time, a LeBron James refractor, that's what I was looking for, a PSA 10 refractor, and someone wanted 6,500, but I only wanted to pay 6,000, and I didn't make that deal. So, and PSA 10 refractor. Let's see what else. An Allen Iverson refractor, I was trying to get it for 3,000. The guy wanted 3,200. So those are the prices back in 2019. You could buy essentially for 10,000 an Allen Iverson refractor PSA 10 and a LeBron refractor PSA 10, which probably would go for what? Both those combined would go for like 80 grand now.
Yeah, I know. LeBron refractor 10 just comped at 52,000.
You still have yours, right? I still have mine too. So the prices I paid on it, I don't think I'm moving it anytime soon. Now, however, I'm okay with taking losses on cards. It's not a big deal. A lot of people will never sell their card below what they bought it at. But if you put that money to use and buy something else with it, and make money with it. So why not take loss?
No, I agree with that. I guess you just got to pick and choose, and that's where it comes with like the collectability of like what you want.
Unless you really want it, because I know you always like that card. So
yeah.
So it all depends what you wanted, what you're going to do with the money. If it's just going to sit in your bank account, then might as well just hold it, right?
Yeah. Any tips for somebody like looking to consign with you, like where should they go? How should they?
Just hit me up through either Facebook or Instagram, and or at a show. The market I'm really looking at, because most people, let's say most people have deals worked out in US with let's say you have a rep already at PWCC and stuff like that. It's mainly going to be geared towards Asian market, but if there's someone that just has a stack of cards and like, I don't want to deal with it, just sell it for me. And a lot of people have this FOMO, like I don't want to sell it to you, because let's say you buy their collection of 10 cards and you end up selling that card that goes for 10,000 more than what you paid them. They'll be upset, but literally whatever I sell it for is what it's going to go, what it went for. So
yeah,
they won't be as upset about it. And we're just taking a small percentage of that. And it's the same percentage that you probably would have gotten or less than what you would have gotten if you negotiated directly. The PWCC rates that I have on the site is pretty much what they have on their website. So I'm just making a difference of whatever PWCC pays me for it if I send a certain amount of cards to them, if I hit certain performance numbers.
Yeah.
So golden is another story. It depends on the card, and you pretty much have to get approval with them of what card and how much they'll give you. So if it's a big card, I'm sure like that Curry, it might be a lot higher than the number of, let's say you give me a Zion Blue Prism.
Yeah.
So they're a little bit difficult to get an exact number on, but it just makes things easier for someone. Like if you don't mind, let's say, sending one person all your cards and getting all your stuff done, it's a lot easier that way, especially if you have cheap ones. No one wants to really list stuff on eBay. I hate listing on eBay. You have to deal with all those horror stories like listing on eBay. So essentially someone's there to list eBay for you. I listed all that stuff that Rizzo had before on eBay, and I hated it, but
that was a crazy deal.
But then I learned that hey, there's money to be made for the difference in there, that we can to do your work for you that no one wants to do. So it's just another I mean, I'm just going to do this at the side for now. And then it's just to give service for people here that if they don't want to sell their cars themselves, which most people don't, because you could be spending time buying and doing stuff instead of doing the tedious work that you don't want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, that was insane. The collection that you showed us, the curry, which isn't on the table anymore, but there's a reason why. Franklin's already out the door with it.
So you can't even see any of these cards in Taiwan unless you know these people personally. So a lot of it is through like lunch meetups. We meet up for lunch and show each other, you know, our collections. Talk.
So then, how do you get in touch? How do you get in touch? Like with?
It's not easy. So it's like you have to know someone that knows someone to vouch you in. It's kind of like how in reality how most of those card groups were before, right? You know someone, they add you, and then you go back in. But it's not as easy as that, obviously. But it helps if you speak Chinese or speak Mandarin, and you know if you're in Taiwan. So that's why I never really quite understood how Golden or PWCC was trying to get business from Asia when none of their reps speak the language there. You know.
So, well, yeah. Were any of the reps like actually from the country?
Like PWCC countries? Just has Eric, and he lives in Korea. But Eric's really good. I like Eric. He's really good. But at least he knows how people in Korea do business. So it helps. But a lot of it before, I think, was just people hitting them up on their Instagram and say, oh, I like your card. Can you send it to, you want to send it to Golden or send it to PWCC? And it doesn't really, that's not the style that works with them. They want to see a face that, you know, they've had lunch with and shake hands with, and, you know, you break bread with them, then they'll trust you that you're vouched for.
Well, so would you ever work for one of these auction houses?
No, because I don't want them to tell me what to do. Or I don't want to be representative of them. I want to. Granted, I will be. They will be. They will. I mean, they are holding the cards and selling it for us. There was a crazy auction I saw in China that sold some. It was like a lot where, like a Kobe card sold for like 400,000. I don't know if you saw that one.
I did, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if it got paid,
but it did a lot more than what it would have went for in the U.S.
Yeah, probably like double. So there is a market out there. Maybe that there's going to be another auction house there that they can sell their cards. But pretty much anyone that in Asia that wants to sell their cards, sell them on auction sites in America.
But they send it through somebody.
Yeah, they send it through someone. They've been sending it through us recently in Taiwan, and then they send it to whatever. But there's not that much being sold.
Because most of those guys keep the stuff anyways.
Yeah, they keep the stuff. So eventually they're going to have to sell, but we'll see. But we'll see if they want to sell any of these when we get them back from PSA.
I mean, that would be gnarly. I might have to sell some with you or buy something from you.
I would love. This is like a dream card for everyone, huh?
Bro,
I can't stop looking at it.
So the out of 99 with not as good of a patch, I believe, did like 400,000 or 500,000.
I never understood the true RPA thing that people like to say.
People like the out of 99 more.
Like, why is the one out of 99 better than the 25? I think if you want to say they're all equal, then you should just base it on the patch, right?
Oh, that patch is nasty. I mean, that's a huge card.
Do you call the Prism Zion, let's say the one with the highest number is probably the red. Is that the true colored Zion?
No, but that
Prism?
Was, I mean, I had two Mac Jones NTRPAs out of 25, and people were like, well, the out of 99 is the true one. But the out of 25 sold really well. And they sold, I think, more than the 99. So
the only reason why I think they cared about that is because the ones out of 25 had those ugly foil patches, like different colors, right? So, or not necessarily out of 25, but some of them had like green, emerald. Patches.
Oh yeah, there's green and stuff. Yeah, but the like silvers, I think the silvers look nice at the ones that are 25.
And these ones, even though it's your card here, I hate the red ruby.
You don't like red? I like it.
Gold or silver on flawless is my preference.
Yeah. But to get one of those cards, it's so hard to. Where when something like that comes up, you just take it how it is. You know what I mean?
Unless it's a red, like of a player that has a red jersey.
That would be sick.
But
I don't know what jersey that. I don't know with Curry what jersey necessarily that's from.
Gold or blue.
Like a darker blue though.
I think Curry looks good in any gold. I think. Or
you watch any card like content stuff or no?
Not much anymore. I think every time I watch card content stuff, it just gets me annoyed. because most of the card content people are like guys that just started collecting, and they're trying to tell us how to collect. So it's, I mean, that's why I like that you have, like I said earlier on, you have people that are there earlier. They're like, oh, like I hear them talking about 86, 87. They're like, oh, this is, how do they get 3 Jordans in one box? You're supposed to get 3 Jordans, you know? Or they talk about just anything. It's like most of these people don't even know what they're talking about. Like all those card content creator was opening packs and they didn't even know that this was in the sequence. So it's just, the problem with the old school people is they don't really want to be, you know, in the spotlight. And the young people that are on social media, they all want the spotlight. So they're the ones that are out there. I mean, in what industry do you have, let's say, you know, like our national, where, let's not say it's sports cards. Let's say it's the medical field. You're not going to have all the doctors speak that just are just interns that just started like 2 or 3 years. But in card collecting, it's like all these guys just started 2 or 3 years ago. And they're the ones that are in the forefront of the hobby. So,
but do you think so?
Go to any other convention. You're not going to see like, yeah, this guy's just started becoming a doctor last year, so he's going to be the main guy speaking. So they do that here.
I think with the speaking though, like especially the national, there was definitely like hardcore industry people that have been in the industry 20, 30 years.
Yeah. But I'm talking about the content creators. A lot of those they're mainly younger people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But I think that comes with like, because they were like,
they're
my generation, we're engraved within social media, whereas like maybe like somebody a little bit older isn't as like, you know, savvy tech wise, you know.
Yeah,
I don't think it's something where they don't want to be on social media. You know
I've been watching more lately, but it just happens to be on.
It's crazy. When I first started vlogging, like it was like such like nobody was doing it. Right? Yeah, nobody was doing it. So I would go to a card show, people would just give you like the weirdest stares. And then now like you go to a card show and like half the room is vlogging.
Because everyone knows all they need is a phone and they could be a content creator.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only thing. Like, oh, I can be.
Which is amazing though. You really think about it, like the amount of people you can bring in tune and like follow like your journey and like also like help your business is kind of cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if I actually knew how to do some of these things, I always ask people, hey, can you make a meme for me? I don't even know how to do it, you know? Or can you...
We got to make a couple memes for you.
Yeah. Well, I have one idea I just floated to you. My Johnny Banana is a meme that Franklin could work on.
We got to get yourself a social media manager. You people don't know the Boki cards that I showed it like in the pod like a couple episodes. Or, I mean, probably like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I saw Mark post it on the national.
Yeah.
I know it was Tyler, I think, that had it.
And then the episode with Hannah where Boki was here, that now they know whose dog that is, that it's your dog. Actually I think I have one of the Boki cards.
Yeah, right here.
Right there. I think one ended up doing $14,000 on eBay or something like that.
That was kind of a joke. I was trying to play a joke on, you know, how V Friends were selling for certain amounts, so Z Friends could do just as well.
Well, go get yourself some Z Friends.
I have 3 dogs, so there's 3 different dogs that we can make cards of. But yeah, it's just actually people in Asia wanted those cards too, so I brought some back there, and they're holding a few of them because Shibas are like the most popular dogs in Taiwan. Everyone's got Shibas there. I probably saw like 30 Shibas while I was there.
It's a little crazy.
Well, they're kind of like the perfect size for someone that lives in Taiwan. They're like, you know, not too big, but not too small.
Cool. Well, I think we're going to end it there.
Cool.
Well, Kelvin, appreciate you coming on, man. That was fun. We learned about, I mean,
Kobe is not top 5. That's all you have to. I know Mike Yu is going to hate me for saying that because we always go back and forth about Kobe, but I actually had Curry ahead of Kobe, and then I changed it just because.
Okay, guys, I just gonna end it here. Curry is not ahead of Kobe. Kobe's in. If Kobe is not in your top 5, wait, where do you have him? 8?
Yeah, 8.
At least he was in his top 10. I can say that.
I've always
just to end on a positive note. All right, appreciate it, guys. See you guys next time.